Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and hello to all SBL students. This is Musaddiq Keswani from the IQ School of Finance. As we all know that ACCA has issued the pre-scene document for the March 2026 attempt, and here we are in front of you to do the debrief of this pre-scene as usual. We are going to discuss each and every paragraph and we are going to unfold a lot of hidden information. We are going to discuss that what are the possible topics, what are the possible scenarios, models and the theories which could be tested in the exam and what is their possible answer. Alright, so that you have the answer brainstorm in advance before going into the exam, and that is going to help you. And not only this, after this pre-scene, I'm going to issue a list of important topic, and this has been the history that in the previous attempts, like 60 to 70% of the paper comes from this list. So this is going to help you a lot, right? So those who are already in our group, they will get the list, and those who are not, contact me on this number so that I can add you in the group and you can have this important topic list and you can focus on these areas even more. So before starting the pre-scene analysis, I have some bullets or some key points for you to know, so that you should know that what is the purpose of this pre-scene and how you are going to use this pre-scene so that you can take the maximum benefit from it. All right. So the first point which I want you to know is that the pre-scene document will be available to you in the exam. All right. But you are strictly disallowed to open and read the pre-scene in the exam to find something unless you know that the specific information is written in the specific area of it. All right. What do you mean by this, sir? I mean that this pre-scene document, you don't need to memorize it. You will have this pre-scene document in the exam, but you are not allowed to open it. Now, sir, what is this that you are saying that you don't need to memorize it and also you are not allowed to open it? No, you are legally allowed to open it, but I am, as a teacher, telling you that you should not, you are restricted, you are prohibited to open the pre-scene, because I'm your teacher and I know what is better for you. And why I'm saying this? Because, it's a big document. It's a 10-page document and it has a lot of information. So if in exam you are going to open the pre-scene and trying to find something new from it, believe me, this is going to be a disaster for you. And there are many examples of the students in the past which have wasted and which have, failed their attempt just because of this thing, that they wasted the time in searching for the information in the pre-scene. You guys know this thing. Those students who have taken my webinars of the drafting session, they know that how we use the pre-scene information, because when we know that the specific thing is written in the specific section of the pre-scene, we directly go and we directly navigate and access that information and use it in our answer. But in case if we don't know that information is written in which part of the pre-scene, believe me, you are not going to waste your time in searching for the thing, because in exam situation, in the pressure situation, you are not going to get anything if you don't know where it is written. You will mess up. So the better thing is that you have to make yourself familiarized with the pre-scene so that you know that which information is written in which section of the pre-scene, so that in exam you can directly go there and copy and paste the specific information. You will have the blur vision of this information or the summary of this information in your mind, but just to have the specific information, you'll go there. Otherwise, this pre-scene is not going to be used in the exam. All right. But sir, how we are going to actually familiarize ourselves with the pre-scene? For that, I'm making this debrief video. And the other thing is that for this, you should read the pre-scene 3 to 4 times. You have to read it 3 to 4 times, and believe me, when you will read it, even for the second time, for the third time, you will see that you are now getting familiar with the pre-scene structure, which information is written where, and you will memorize things at the macro level, that okay, in this heading these things were discussed and this information is written there. All right. And the other thing is that, which is very important, that your exam, the answer is going to be 90 to 95% from your knowledge of the subject, from your common business sense. This pre-scene is only going to help you at maximum 5 to 10%. Believe me, you have done the past paper with me and you have seen this thing, that the pre-scene is always going to help us like maximum 5 to 10%. So that means that you don't need to waste a lot of time on it, all right? Because the objective of the pre-scene is not to have the answer of the questions. It is that to make you familiar with the industry, familiar with the company, so that you feel like, okay, this is my company. Or maybe when you, if you are client, if you are external party, you know your client very well, you know the competitors, the industry, the challenges, the product, the expenses, source of income, the issues of the client very well, so that you can get involved into the scenario and then recommend the solutions, all right? So you have to understand the objective of the pre-scene. It is not required and there is no need to do further research on the industry which is given in the pre-scene other than the pre-scene itself. ACCA is saying this, that you don't need to look for the actual companies or the actual industry, all right, in order to have a good understanding. Whatever you need to have a good understanding of the industry and the company, we have provided you in the pre-scene, and it is more than enough to have a good understanding. That is what ACCA is saying. So it's more than conclusive for us, so to not waste time in the other things. So let's start the pre-scene analysis, right? So we have the pre-scene information for the March 2026 attempt, and we have the contents, the typical index of the pre-scene information. So we have the introduction of the company. The sector we are going to discuss is actually the magazine sector, and it's a very different sector. It's the sector that has been tested for the very first time, or that is going to be tested for the very first time, and it's a very interesting industry. So first we are going to have the overview and of the company or the industry. Then we are going to talk about the products of the industry, the staff, authors of the magazine, the other staff, the production process of the magazine, the software which are used in the industry, the sources of income of the market players, the expenses, industry body, that means the regulator, the stakeholders, industry challenges, risk, and the key performance indicators. So these are the things which you are going to see in the industry information. And then we have the company overview, the client whose case study we are going to solve in the exam. So that is the Merck company, all right? And we are going to have the background of the company, the vision and value of the company, ownership, governance, board structure, products, organization, content, production staff, paper and printing, distribution, IT system, stakeholder, risk, and then we'll have the website extract. And you know what? This pre-scene is a little bit different from the other pre-scene, and you can see that there is a lot of specific information of the industry and the company as well. You can say that the technical level information is also provided in this pre-scene this time by ACCA. And also the website extract. We have been seeing that in the website extract section, usually what we have, the mission, the vision, the values of the company. But now they've not given these things into the website extract. What they are giving is the corporate social responsibility statement. That means the CSR related things. So it means that, or it indicates that there are high chances that the CSR, social and the environmental footprint, integrated reporting, these are the topics that are highly likely to be tested in the exam. And as a student, it is mandatory for you to make a good understanding on them. And these lectures are there on the YouTube. You can always watch them from my top 35 playlist, all right? And then we have the financial and non-financial information, and believe me, this financial and non-financial information is going to talk a lot about the company's results and the company's performance, and we'll see it, right? So now let's move ahead and start talking about the pre-scene information. So we have the introduction of the company. The Merck company is one of the 5 biggest publisher of the magazine in the country of the Darland. So it's a Darland country in which there is a magazine industry, and in the magazine industry there are 5 largest publishers, right? Those who publish the magazines, they are called publishers. So our client, if I'm saying that we are the external party, usually we are the external party, and we are given with the issues and we have to solve them. We have to provide the solutions to the company, to the board, to the CFO, CEO, all right? So the Merck company is our client, let's say. And this company is amongst the five biggest publisher in the country. It was established 60 years ago. It means that it's an old company. It publishes magazine on a wide range of leisure subject. So what do you mean by, sir, leisure subject? This is also mentioned in the pre-scene. That means you don't need to go anywhere else to understand anything. Whatever you need to understand, it is already mentioned here, right? So, and the other thing is that these magazines are provided in both print-based and digital format. Digital format means like the e-books or the the e-marketing comes into play. I'll talk about it later, but the digital format means the e-books like format. So now we all know that traditionally magazines, they are published in the hard form on the paper and they are sold and distributed. But in this industry, now we all know that currently in the world, many things are now transitioning towards the digital form. So likewise, the magazine industry is also transitioning towards the digital form, and they are also selling the magazine in the digital or the electronic form. That means you can access them by your electronic devices like mobile, iPad, tablet, laptop, computer, or any kind of electronic device. Okay. Then we have the sector information. In sector information, first we have the overview of the sector. It is saying a magazine is a publication. Okay, it's a publication generally produced on a regular schedule. So it means that magazine is not a one-off kind of publication. It is a regular publication. All right. It contains the article and illustration, often covering a particular subject or aimed at a specific reader. It means that the content which is written in the magazine, it is like articles, the illustration of any subject matter on which the magazine is published. Okay. And it covers the particular subject aimed at the particular reader. That means that our audience or our readers or our customers, all right, they are specific. So when the customers are specific, don't you think that now because now you are consultant, you are the advisor of the client, you have to think like this, that if your readers are specific, don't you think your marketing should also be targeted and the specialized? And for that you should be referring to the e-marketing techniques. Yes sir, we know this, and we have done many past paper related to it, like the benefits of the e-marketing, how it could be done, all right, and the challenges or the risk in the e-marketing. So we have done all these things in the class, so this is going to help us a lot, right? And then magazines are published on a range of different subjects. Okay. Magazine publisher may have other media interests, for example provision of market research services. So that means that the magazines, they are published on a wide range of subjects, but the publishers, those who publish the magazine, the organization, they might have the other interests as well, like providing the provision of market research service. So they can provide the market research of any market, like the mobile market, the motorbike market, or the medical market, the financial market, capital market, health and education market, or any kind of market. They can provide the research related to that market and the research and survey of that market in the form of their magazine. Okay, so this is also one kind of magazine. And then the five biggest publisher of the magazine in Darlan have around half of the market in Darlan in terms of revenue. Okay, so they occupy half of the market, these five players. The total market size in Darlan is about $8,000 million in terms of revenue. So these five players have collectively $4,000 million revenue share of the market. It's a big thing, right? Magazines are generally published on a regular basis. One thing I need to tell you, that if you have, like, you are one of them, so you have four competitors, and these competitors along with you occupy the half of the market. That means they are big companies, they have huge resources, latest technology, specialized staff, so they are a very good competitor. So the competition level among them is going to be very high. All right, so you need to know, if it is not mentioned specifically, you should know that since they are five large players of the market and they are occupying this much of the share of the market, that means they are a good competition, and the competition intensity is going to be high in the market. Then Magazines are generally published on a regular basis. Okay, as we know that these are not one of kind of publication like the books, or let me give you the example. Like for example, whenever there is any edition of the book, right? So we don't know that the next edition would come or not. Like many people, they are thinking that the next season of Netflix, Stranger Things would come also, but we don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it will not. But in case of magazine, you know that the next edition is going to come. All right. How do you know? Let me tell you that many magazines are published monthly, but others are published on weekly or quarterly basis. Each version of the magazine is known as the edition. For example, the monthly edition for the January 2006. That means that if it's a monthly magazine, you know that the next edition is going to come in the next month. Weekly, you would know that the next edition will come on the next week, and so on. You will know that the next edition will come in the next quarter if it's a quarterly magazine. All right. Unlike the Netflix series or any book, but the magazine has the regular schedule. Most magazines are published in both print-based, hard copy, and digital online format. As we all know that now the world is shifting to the digital formats of doing all the things, right? But it doesn't mean that the traditional ways or the hardbound copies or the printed copies, they are redundant. No, the world is transitioning, but it will take time. So now the readers or the people, they use both magazine, the printed and also the digital version. All right. So it's a very obvious thing that in industry there are going to be the publication of both types, the printed and the digital format. Okay. And then the market for print-based magazines is diminishing. That means that now, again, as I said, that the world is transitioning towards the digital formats of all the things, right? So similarly in the case of magazines as well. So the thing is that as an advisor, this thing should come into your mind, that since the people now they are shifting to the digital format, what you should be doing, you should try to transition or to attract your print-based customers to the digital format. You need to give them the incentives, you need to guide them, you need to give them some discounts, offers, promotion, in order to attract them from the print based to the digital format, so that you can have a good traffic or the good viewers or the visitors on your digital platform where you are placing your magazines, so that your revenues doesn't go down. Because if your customer is switching from the print based to digital format, there might be the possibility that your competitor might snatch those customers from you. So what you need to do is you need to attract them to your digital platforms. All right. Although it is likely to remain significant for some time to come, that means that it is not going to just vanish immediately. It will take time. All right. The print based format or the print based magazine, they will be there for some time. Readers are defined as anyone who pays to have the access to the magazine content. Okay, so there is the definition or the information related to the readers, that who are the readers, either in print based or the digital format. For both, we say them readers. Some readers pay a subscription to purchase a set number of editions of the magazine. All right. Some reader, what they do, they purchase the set numbers of magazine, like 10 magazines, 5 magazines, or maybe the magazines editions of 2025 or maybe 2024, 2022, 1, or maybe they would say, okay, I am interested into the research and innovation in the medical science or the medical field, and specifically related to the COVID. So that person might be interested into the magazines of the health and health science innovation, which are published during the period of 2029 to 2020, right? So in that way, the readers, they purchase or they get the subscription for the set number of magazine. And the other way is that, or to access online content for a set period. That means that purchase like one magazine for a set period of time, like for 3 months, 6 months, or maybe year, the way we take the subscription of our portals, right? So there are two ways. Either you purchase the magazine for lifetime, or either you take the access for a limited period. Okay. And then readers who pay the subscription for the magazine in any format, print or digital, are known as subscriber. So that means that For example, if there is a market of 10,000 people, they all are the readers of magazines, but they are not my subscriber. All are not my subscriber. I'll say that maybe 200 are my subscribers. So I'll say that these readers are now my subscriber because they are paying subscription to have the access of these magazines. So you understand the difference between the readers and the subscriber. Now let's move forward. So now we have the product related information, and in product related information we have the product development aspect, which I'm going to discuss with you. Okay, but first let us read the content. The majority of the magazine published in Darland relates to leisure activities. As I said that now the leisure activities information is going to come, and interest. So the majority of the publishers, they publish the magazine on the leisure activities and the interest. Now sir, what do you mean by leisure activities and the interest? Let me give you the quick summary and then I'll show you what it is. It means that the topics other than the like educational, scientific, study related, financial aspect, or the, you can say, business related aspects or the business related subject. Other than these aspects, other than these commercial or the scientific or the educational aspect, the other activities we call it leisure. That means, related to your personal life, related to your leisure activities. What they are? It includes the home. The subject could be the home, types of home, the construction of the home, design of the home, all right, and maybe some insights related to the design structure of the home, the lifestyle of the people, sports, hobbies, computers, motoring, transport, music, film, television programs, and celebrity news. So these are all kind of activities which a person does it into his personal life in order to have a good time, or not for the studies and the business purposes. There are also some businesses and professional magazine. Okay, there are some, but not majority. Majority are leisure activities and interest in the Darland industry or the Darland market, covering news and matters of interest for specific business sectors and occupation. Okay, as I said that there is other aspect or the other type of magazines as well. Now, what I mean is that, for example, if the company whose case study we are going to solve, the Merck company, if the Merck company is operating as everyone in the leisure activities or interest, don't you think that there is a chance of the product development? Product development means selling the different product into the same market. So you sell the magazines into your Darland market, but you can go towards the other than leisure activities like scientific, research, educational, financial magazines or business related magazines. All right, you can do this kind of product development in order to grow your business, right? And for that, what you need to do, you need to do a research. What you can do, research and educational magazine or etc. And for which what you need to do, you need to actually hire some authors, some writers who has the good understanding, good knowledge of those subject matters, all right, which are other than the leisure activities, so that you can make this product as well and then sell it and eventually grow your market share. Okay, now let's move forward. The content of the magazine varies according to the subject of the magazine. Obviously, it might typically include the latest news about the subject. Okay, so it is giving you the idea that in the magazine what kind of information could be there. So for example, in the magazine of the sports, right, so there could be the latest news related to the sports, all right, articles on the sport related matters, from, you can say, the former players or maybe the legends of the sports. They can write some articles related to any sporting events or maybe sport players or the current players, right? And also the regular opinion by the particular authors and reviews of the product connected with the subject of the magazine. So if I'm talking about like the sports like cricket, there could be the latest news related to the cricket. There could be the articles which are made part of the magazines, and also the regular opinions about from the authors. Like for example, we all know that there are some commentators, there are some legends, there are some ex-cricketers. They do a very good analysis of the game of the cricket, about any tournaments or any sport events or any player. So the followers of that game, they like to read that analysis very much, right? So in your magazine, this could be also made part, right? And also, what else? The reviews of the product connected with it. For example, you can include the review of some pads, some cricketing bats, maybe helmet, maybe the grounds, or the kits, the bag, the shoes, the jersey. So these are the connected products related to the sports. For example, we are talking about cricket. So these could be the content of the magazine. So they are giving you the idea about this, right? Now next, what it is. So yeah, the one thing which I need you to know, that when you are doing the reviews of the products, so again, when you are doing the reviews of the product, think as a businessman. Think that in your magazine, if you are going to talk about any product, you are going to talk about some companies or the brand as well. So don't you think that you should do a long-term contract with those brands, that okay, we will provide the reviews in our magazine related to your brand, related to your company, related to your products, so that the people could have the awareness about your product, they can come to know about your product and the features, the quality, the prices as well. So this could be a long term partnership with them, right? So this is one of the option of business partnering. Then next, we have the digital content available for the magazine varies by a publisher and magazine. Okay, obviously the publisher to publisher, the content will vary. Sometimes the publisher just reproduce the content and format of the print based version of the magazine in of the online magazine. That means that there are some publishers, what they do, they just copy paste the printed version of the magazine onto their online platform. And on the other hand, there are some publishers, what they do, some publisher offer extra content through a number of online channels, such as what are the extra contents which they provide on their digital magazine. Like for example, if we have one magazine in the hardbound form, when they upload it into the digital format, digital platform, what they do, they add some extra content related to it, the extra content which is only possible to be provided on the digital format. Obviously you have to make sure that the magazine is not too big, too large, that it is not able to attract the people. So you have to think about that thing as well. But on the online, you can add extra things, you can add extra content. For example, if the reader wants to read it, they can open the link and they can read it, otherwise they can just ignore it. All right. And what could be the extra content? Additional website material related to the magazine content, further written content, images, video clip, right? Some YouTube videos or some informative videos from the website or anywhere, right? You can place the link and people can open it while reading the magazine. For example, if they are reading about something, and if how better it would be that if you provide them some images or related videos in which they can see that thing actually, it would be a better experience, right? Then email, newsletter, podcast, or social media, such as using including highlight of the specific contents, promoting next edition of the magazine, raising topic for discussion, sharing among social media followers, right? So you can do these kind of things. Next, we have the publishers who enter partnership to ensure maximum distribution of the digital content. For example, partnership with digital app stores. So sometime the publisher, they do the partnership with the digital app stores as well, so that what they can do, they can place their magazine on their apps as well. All right. Now we have the information related to the magazine staff. So we have different kind of magazine staff which we are going to discuss about. But first we have the general discussion about the magazine staff, and they are saying that staff may work across a number of different magazines. That means that the staff, they are not specialized, that maybe we have a team which is going to publish the magazine related to the home subjects, or maybe related to the sports subject, lifestyle, celebrity, right? That's not the case. They have the pool of staff and they can work on all kind of magazine. But what kind of suggestion you can give? You can give the suggestion related to the specialization, because by specialization you can achieve the economies of scale, you can achieve the efficiencies, you can achieve the effectiveness, and it will decrease your cost and increase your quality, right? This kind of suggestion you can give to examiner in case if it is required in the answer. And also Then we have the magazine author related information. Writers of the magazine are known as author. Okay, so now we will call them authors. Author includes, so we have two kinds of authors. Number one, employee of the publisher of the magazine, in-house author. These are the employees of the company. They are the full-time employees of the company. All right, they work for company and they write the content. On the other hand, we have the freelance authors. Freelance authors are not employees of the publisher but have an arrangement with the publisher which requires them to produce specific content. So I have seen these things, right? I have many friends who write the content for the publishers, and their deal is like that. They don't get a fixed remuneration. They get the assignment, they get the task that in next 15 days we need a content on this subject. So they have to write it, and when they give the content they get the remuneration that is variable based on the task, based on the intensity or the technicality or the complexity of the task. So in this way we have the freelance authors. Okay, they are paid fees only for what they write. Some will be well known names in relation to the subject which the magazine covers and will be paid to give their opinions about the subject. Well known or expert freelance authors may be paid high fees. And that's very fine because they are well known, they are expert. So what the I because I have few friends about in this industry, so I know these insights that what they do in the whole magazine, they just add one or two section from which is written by the expert authors which are freelancers, because they have to pay them a lot, right? So what it does is that it increases the worth and value of the whole magazine. The whole magazine, it is written by the full-time employees author of the company, and only few sections these are written by the freelancer or the expert authors. So it saves the cost, and on the other hand it increases the quality of the the magazine, right? Then now the suggestion could be, they could be on board international and well-known authors. Since they are freelancer, what you can do that you can onboard the international well-known authors into your company so that you can make them write content for you. And again, if they are international, they are well known, they will attract more readers and more customers, more revenue, more profit. Okay, and similarly you can do the royalty based arrangement with them, that in despite paying them high fees without even knowing that the magazine would do good or not, you can make the arrangement that okay, you will get like 5% of the receipts or maybe 10% of the receipts. So that will hedge your risk, and that will make your cost that is linked with the revenue. So if you will have the high revenue, you will have the high cost. If the there is going to be a low revenue, the cost is going to be low. So in that way you can actually improve the company's structure and the arrangement with the freelance authors. Okay, then we have other magazine staffs, the editors. They check what authors have written for accuracy, for spelling, grammars, and clarity of the reading. Now, what I think is that since it's a very mechanical task, don't you think that it should be automized? Like what I know and what is being my practice is that whatever the notes, whatever the practice questions and the answer which I make, I just use the spell check or the grammar check which is there in the Microsoft Word. I don't give it to any person to do it. So don't you think that it would be efficient way to do this task by automizing it, by having a technology or software which can check for these things, because these are not some technical things, these are mechanical things. So why to employ people and waste so much cost on it, right? Then this design staff are responsible for the design and the layout of the published material. Again, there are so many AI platforms or the AI apps which can provide you a very good design of the magazine. So why to employ people, and why to be dependent on them? It is very good to have a automation of these activities by using the AI tools. All right, and despite of instead of having like a team of 10 people or 10 editors or 10 designers, you can have 2 or 3 editors or designer who can do the same job by using the AI tools. So it is always efficient way, it is always economical way. All right. IT support staff, maintain the publisher's IT infrastructure. Again, you can outsource it. I'm not saying that the company is not doing, I'm just giving you the ideas which should be coming into your mind. You can outsource it. Again, it's not a technical, or it's not a thing that gives you the competitive advantage. Maintaining your IT infrastructure, you can outsource it, because whenever you outsource, it saves a lot of fixed cost. It also gives you expert services, because when you outsource from somewhere, those outsourcing provider or the service provider, they are expert in this field. So the level of quality which they are going to give you, you can never achieve it, because this is not your core activity. All right. Then advertising staff are responsible for selling space in the magazine to advertising advertisers. Magazine contain adverts for products and services which advertiser feel will interest the magazine readers. Now the thing is that in magazine, that is not the case that on all the pages you will see the content. On few pages you will see the advertisement. I don't know how many of you have actually seen the magazine, but I'm from like I have read magazine, so I know that on few pages there is space completely dedicated for the advertisement of the products which the readers might be interested into. All right. So there is the advertising team which collaborate with the other companies who wants to advertise their product into the magazine. Typically what we used to do, we used to be a business and we talk about that we can do the advertisement into the magazines. Now we are a magazine business and we are talking about that now the other businesses are coming to us for the advertisement. All right. So it's a switch of the role. So what you can suggest, that there could be a commission plus fixed base salaries for the advertisement staff, that the level of revenue we are going to earn from the other companies for the advertisement, you will get certain percentage. This will not only motivate them to work even hard to get the contracts from the other companies for the advertisement, and eventually will increase your revenue, but also it will reduce your fixed cost, because if they are going to get the contract from the other company, only then you will have to pay them the over and above commission, otherwise you don't need to pay them. So there should be the fixed plus commission base or fixed plus variable base arrangement with them. So these are the very, very useful recommendation or solution which I am giving you, which is going to help you a lot in drafting your answer and coming up with the points. Then sir, we have some marketing staff. They are responsible for marketing the magazine throughout the various channels. Now there is a staff which markets our magazine to the other, right, to the readers, to the other platforms. So there are two kind of marketing. The one, people are coming to us to market their product and services in our magazine, and now the magazine is ready, we have to market our magazine to others. Okay. So you can train them to adopt the e-marketing techniques in order to market our product on the digital platform efficiently and attract more readers. All right. So you have to be very clear with the benefits and the techniques of the e-marketing. You should revise the 6 I's of e-marketing concept so that you have a good understanding and you are ready to answer the question related to this area. The magazine's editor-in-chief. So the chief, what it does, again, as its name, the role is going to be the same, is in overall charge of the magazine, and all the employees and freelancer reports to him or her. So all the freelancer, all the employees which we have discussed so far, they all report to them. So he is the boss. He is actually the one who is managing all of them. Okay. Then we have magazine production process. For each edition of the magazine's editor-in-chief specify the content of the magazine and who will write each item in the magazine employee or freelance author. So the chief specifies the content, that what should be written and who will write it, either the employee or the in-house author or the freelance author. What I am saying is that you should go for the combination, because I have seen this, like in Pakistan, I have few friends and they told me this thing, that this is one of the strategies which our company uses, and these are the some market leader magazines. So you can recommend this idea. And then authors may write material for the magazine solely at their desk, or they may have to go out to obtain materials or for articles. For example, authors on magazine about films would attend the film screening. And also you guys would have seen this thing that whenever any film is about to release, before the release there are going to be the promotional activities, and in those promotional activities many reporters, the journalists, they go ask the stars about the film, the cast, the story that has been delivered into the magazine, and also they get some insights related to the whole journey of making the film, so that they can include it into their content while writing the magazine. So the thing is that they have to work on their desk as well to write the content, and for some time they have to go out at the specific places related to their subject matter, so that they can have the specific information related to the subject which they can make their part of their magazine. All right, then we have magazines have a guide which author must follow when writing the content. Okay, so what does this guide give them, or what is there in the guide? Guidance will include what content is and is not acceptable, okay, and will also include the tone and presentation of the content. For example, use of paragraphs and punctuation, as well as the preferred terminologies, right? So it's a overall guidance for the authors to be followed when they are writing the content. So now the thing is that this guide should be regularly updated as per the reviews and the feedbacks of your readers, so that you are making the content that is in line with their preferences, all right, and you don't get outdated. Authors generally have to produce content by a set date, a deadline for each edition of the magazine. Okay, so they have a set date, that is the deadline. For that they have to prepare the content. As I said that I have some freelancer authors in my friend list, and they told me that they get the task with the deadline and they have to deliver the task on before that deadline. The deadline allows the sufficient time for editing and printing, digitizing the content by the publication date of the magazine. So it means that the deadlines give you the sufficient time to do all the other activities like printing, digitizing, and publishing the whole magazine till the date of you can say the publication of the magazine. So you need to know two things. There is the deadline and there is the publication date. So there is going to be some deadline, and after that deadline there is going to be the difference between the publication date. And what you are going to do in between these days, you are going to edit it, you are going to make the design of that thing, and then you will ask for the advertisers to put the advertisement into it. Then you will finally publish it, you will digitize it, and then you will publicate it onto the website or maybe onto the printed form. All right, next. So there should be a proper schedule to follow for the follow-up etc. to the authors, so that they follow the deadline. Because if they will fail to comply with the deadline, or they will fail to deliver on the deadline, there is going to be a disruption in the afterward activities, or maybe there is going to be a scenario that you would not be able to publish your magazine on time. All right, so this is something that is very important. Then one content has been written, it is reviewed and edited by the editor. As I said, this should be automated. Once writing and editing have been done or completed, the content written by the authors is brought together into an edition of the magazine, which will also include advertisement and letters from the magazine readers. The magazine editor-in-chief will review the whole magazine. The magazine will be printed or uploaded if it is published online. So this is the whole process, that when the content is ready, then we'll do these things, and ultimately it will be printed or published on the online platform. Now what I want you to know, there is one thing, the letters from the magazine. So sir, what kind of letter you are talking about? When I was in a school, I remember that my English teacher used to make me write a letter to magazine, and I didn't know at all that why she is asking me to write this letter. But later when I grew up, I came to know that these kind of letters people write it to the magazine to bring the attention of the people related to the specific matter, related to the specific issue of the society, or related to any other thing. So it's a very normal practice that the people, they write the letter to the magazine and request them to publish that letter in the magazine so that they can attract the attention of the people towards anything. This could be related to the road, broken road, broken bridge, or maybe children education, children health, or maybe some charity. So these kind of subjects that are mentioned in the letter, and they try to attract the attention of the readers towards it, right? So these kind of letters are also included into the magazine. Then we have the software. Now it's a very important thing. Many publishers pay fees to the suppliers for software which assist in publishing the content. Okay, so there is a software which does this thing. A digital publishing platform is a software. So it's a platform like an e-commerce platform. Every publisher will have its own platform on which it will upload its publishing. The way we have our own portal, IQ School of Finance, all right? So it's kind of that software, digital software on which we upload our lectures, they upload their magazines, okay? Is used specifically for producing digital content. The capabilities of the digital publishing platform depends on the software being used. So now the thing is that the capabilities of that digital platform or the software, it depends on the type of software you use. So you know what, in my opinion, this is a kind of thing which can give you the competitive advantage, which can stand you out from your competitors. So according to me, the software should be bespoke, because it is going to have a specialized features, it is going to have a specialized advantage or the options which is going to stand you out from your competitor. All right. So I'm a big advocate of this thing. And then as well as the assisting with designing and layout. So this software assists you in designing and making the layout of the magazine which is going to be published on the website. Again, which section should be placed where, and after that section which kind of picture should be placed, what kind of link, or the link of the other video or the other website should be there. So these kind of all assistance is provided by the software. So again, I'm saying that this is a very critical thing. It is one of the critical success factor, and for that you should have the bespoke software. All right. Then it may be used to add multimedia element, as I said, pictures, video, links, and publish contents onto multiple channels, including social media and mobile apps. So now this platform has this capability as well, that once you upload the content on this platform, this will automatically share it onto the social media as well. Like some part of it would be uploaded onto the Facebook, Instagram, or maybe any other platform. And there would be a link that if you want to read the full magazine or the full part, click on the link, pay the fee, and then you can have the access. So that's how it is attracting the customers. Again, bespoke software, I cannot live without it for this kind of thing. All right. A digital publishing platform may also allow the inclusion of advertisement as a part of digital content. So now you can also do some advertisement on this platform as well, right? It will publicize you through the ads, the social media ads, or maybe some YouTube ads, or you can say the ads for the other businesses as well. They can give you the fees and you can publicize their products and services on your platform. So this platform has this capability as well. So the more advanced this software is, the more feature it will have, and the more and the better it will be. Other facilities digital publishing platform may provide include data analytics, search engine optimization, and integration with the e-marketing. So now this platform, if it is a high-end software, it will provide you with data analytics about the readers, visitors, their preferences, their feedbacks, their reviews, and it can provide you the hell of kind of best report. And this report you can use to make a lot of good decision making. All right. And also search engine optimization. That means that if your software, it's a good software, it will help you to, you guys, how many of you have ever noticed that whenever you search anything on the YouTube or on Google or any browser, those links or those websites which are frequently visited or those who are well known, they come onto the top. How it comes, how the Google knows, how the YouTube knows that they have to place these website or these links on the top? Because of the search engine optimization feature of that platform. So if your product or if your software is advanced, it will have this feature that it will help your website or your platform to come in the top list whenever it is searched, whenever the magazines of the related subject matter is searched. All right. And then integration with the e-marketing. So your software will enable you to do the e-marketing as well. Some digital platform provide paywalls, which means that some content is only available on payment of an additional fee. So now some digital platform have this option as well, that they will provide you the magazine, but for example in magazine there is an expert opinion or the article from the expert of that field, and that article or that opinion is logged. If you want to read it, you have to pay the additional fee. So this is again a good thing, because people will pay for the additional for the expert opinion or the expert article, because if they have the interest about the subject matter, they would like to know about the opinion of the expert of that field. All right. So you can have the specific expert opinion or exclusive segment related to it, and you can lock it for the additional payment, through which you can earn more revenue. Again, it's kind of a differentiating factor, and the people are going to pay a premium for it. Then we have the sources of income. So in sources of income, we have the sale of print-based magazine to the retailer. One source of income, it is from the sale of print-based magazine to retailers. And the other source of revenue is the subscription to print-based copies of the magazine. All right. The people take the subscription of them. Subscription to digital versions of the magazine and other platform where digital content is available. So you get the subscription fee for the print-based copies as well, and also the digital version as well. And also sale of advertising space in the print-based and digital magazine. So these are the 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 sources of income. And what I know is that these 2 are going to be end in near future. All right. So now let's read it. For example, you sell the magazine to supermarket, transport hub, because whenever you go to supermarket or any transport hub, or even in any office or any multinational office or any trade center, you will see that on the desk or on the waiting area there are going to be some magazine, the recent magazine. So many of them, they purchase the magazines in order to display them, in even for the decoration, like on the waiting area they put these magazines. Even in the clinics, in the hospitals, you find these magazines, right? So they purchase it from you. Retailers, they buy magazine from the publishers for onward sales to their customers. So there are 2 kinds of sales. One, we make to retailers, and then they make the sales to the customer, and the other is that we make the sales directly to the readers. Subscriber pay a subscription to purchase a set number of edition of the magazine, often all published in a year. As I said that it could be for the year, for the quarter, or maybe for the specific era of the time for which they want to read that specific subject. All right. The total subscription cost is less than that of purchasing each edition separately. The editions are sent directly to the subscriber. So now they are making this a bundle offer, that if you purchase all the edition, you will have to pay less amount collectively as compared to if you would purchase them separately. These kind of offers or the promotions you can provide on the digital platform as well, in order to attract the customers to transform or shift from the print-based magazine to the digital version. Okay. Then we have subscription to digital versions of the magazines and other platform where digital content is available. It's your website. Subscriber pay a subscription fee to receive an electronic copy of the magazine via email, or to be able to access the digital content for a set time of period. The way you purchase the portal, it's similar way. All right. You get the email, you get your password, you get your user ID, and through which you can access the digital content for a set period of time, and after that it will expire. If you want to renew it, you can renew it and you can access it. Okay. And then this is the same thing which we have already discussed, that you get the fees or revenue from the other businesses which like to advertise their product and services into your magazine. Okay. And then we have the expenses. So in expenses, we have a list of expenses, right? And these are paper cost, printing cost, print-based magazine distribution cost, employee salary, freelance author fees, technology running fees, and office premises cost. So let's read it one by one. Publisher use external suppliers to supply paper for print-based magazine. So So the publisher, they don't manufacture the paper, they procure it from the external suppliers. They often purchase the paper in bulk and enter into a long-term supply arrangement with the paper suppliers. That's a good thing. And again, when you are making the contract with them, the CSR element, you have to make sure that your suppliers, they are not doing any kind of unethical or any practices which are harmful to the environment or the society. Okay, so you have to take care about the environmental aspect. Printing cost. Publisher either print the magazine themselves or outsource printing to the printing businesses. What I feel is that again you should be outsourcing it, and for that, you know what, which process should be outsourced, which should be done internally, which should be done on priority, which could be delayed. These all things are explained, or described into the Harman's process matrix concept. And again, the top 35 list, it is there, so you can watch it and have a good idea about it, right? So again, I am a big advocate of this thing, that this thing should be outsourced, right? Again, it's not a technical thing, it's not something that is going to give you the advantage, it's just printing, right? So the bloody printing should be outsourced. Print-based magazine distribution costs. Once printed, magazines are sent to the subscriber and retailers. So we send them to the subscriber and retailers. Either customer will purchase from us directly, or we will sell to the retailer and then the retailer will sell to the customer. So these are two modes. Publisher may operate distribution center, incurring running cost. So if you are operating your own distribution center like the warehouse, you have to incur the running cost of that, right? Magazines are transported from the printing location to the distribution center if you are operating the one, incurring vehicle and transportation cost. From there to individual subscriber incurring postage cost, and to retailer incurring further vehicle and transportation cost. What I am saying is that number one thing is that you don't need to have a distribution center. Why you need to transport the books or the magazine from the publication center to the distribution center, and then to distribution center to retailers or the customer? Why not to deliver directly to the retailer or the customer? And also, when you will shift towards the digital version, these all costs will be saved. And don't you think that it is going to increase your profits? It is going to decrease a lot of cost of your company. So since the print based market is diminishing, it is a very wise strategic move that you adopt the digital marketing, or you move to the digital platform at a very early stage, so that you will have the edge and you will become a market leader in this digital platform or magazine. All right, again, it is going to be a environmental friendly as well. Then we have employee salaries. So we have the salaries of authors, editors, advertising staff, IT staff, administrative staff, including the management. So if you will outsource or automate or go towards the royalty based arrangement with the freelance authors, believe me, it will save a lot of your cost. Okay, then we have freelance author fee. These will be for each item written, right? So you give the freelance fees to the, or salary to the freelance author only when they write something. And what I'm saying is that give them the sharing or royalty based payment. So if you will earn the revenue, you will have to pay. If you don't, you don't have to pay. All right, so it's going to be a win-win situation for both of you. And then technology running costs. These include the technology necessary for production of the print based magazine, like printer, computers, your data system and everything. And to support digital material, costs may include fees paid to the third party supplier who provides a digital publishing platform, right? So the publication platform, it's not internal. We have not made it, right? We are outsourcing, or we are purchasing the space from somewhere else. So whenever we are purchasing the online space from somewhere else, the data security aspect, the confidentiality, the data, the confidentiality and the sensitive info, the breach of customer trust, the cyber security attacks, hacking, and these kind of things always comes into play. All right, so you have to be very much aware of these things, right? Then we have technology costs also include the cost of operating the publisher's own administration and accounting system. So administration and accounting system cost is also there into the technology. So technology includes a lot of things, the technology which is necessary for the printing, the technology for the online publication digital platform, and also for the administrative and the accounting related thing. And believe me, out of these three types of technology which you are using, there is one, that is the digital publishing platform. It is going to be the critical success factors. For that you need a bespoke software, and for other you can use the off-the-shelf software. Office premises often require significant office space and may also operate on a multiple site, right? So for the publisher, you need the space. You need the space for the content writer. You need a space for the editors, then the advertisers, the marketing staff, and different kind of teams. So it is going to, and also the huge space for the publication as well, because for the printing you need a huge infrastructure, huge setup. All right. So yeah, the premises has to be big enough, and for that big enough space, either you have to inject a lot of capital to purchase the site, or if you are renting it out, you have to pay a rent for this. All right. Then we have some industry body information. Magazine regulator in Darland is in the newspaper and magazine standard. The magazine regulator in Darland is the newspaper and magazine standard authority, NMSA. Okay. It publishes regulation and guidance covering the content, accuracy, taste, and offensiveness, writing about the controversial issues and behavior of the publisher employees. So this body, this organization, it publishes the guidance, all right, on which topics? On these topics, and provides the regulation and guidance to all the market players, all the publishers, that you have to comply with these things in relation to these aspects, that you have to provide the accurate information, you have to take care about the taste of the people, you don't need to publish any offensive content, and you have to write, and you should not be writing about some controversial like religious or personal views, or maybe some political issues, because these are always controversial, right? And it can create the hatred, and it can attract the backlash. And also the behavior of the publishers with the employees, all right? It handles the complaints and conducts of and the investigation related to all the above matters. And also it can require magazine to publish correction to inaccurate or misleading material, and may impose fines and on the magazine for breach of regulation. All right, so it has this much power that it can make you to reissue your publication if it has any inaccurate information or misleading information. So again, if you are printing it, it is going to be a huge cost again, but if it is on the digital platform, you can just go and edit it onto your database. So it is again going to be a good thing. But I'm not saying that I'm encouraging the mistakes, but I'm saying that if it happens that the print base is going to cause you a lot of harm, but the digital platform or the digital magazine, it is going to be a way easy to edit. All right, then we have the stakeholders. The significant stakeholders are your readers, the directors, the content authors, the other key employees, paper suppliers, your distribution businesses, those who are distributing your print based magazine, printing businesses, retailers of the magazine, advertisers, providers of the digital platform, investors, significant individual organization in sector covered by the magazine, like on those you are making your content. So they are also important. If they don't exist, about whom you are going to write your content. All right, and again, when you are writing something about them, you have to take the permission. You need some internal information from them. So they are your significant stakeholders. And then NMSA regulator. So again, these are, since they are significant stakeholders, and for stakeholders we have a model which is called Mandilow's stakeholder matrix. Again, it is on my YouTube playlist of the top 35. You can again see the lecture, and you can do a very good practice of, or you can revise it quickly and have a very good understanding of this stakeholders management related area. All right, then we have some industry challenges. In industry challenges, the most significant challenge is the declining demand for print-based magazine and the need to replace the loss of income from subscription and sales at retailers. So now since the demand is declining, the revenue is also declining. So the challenge is that how we will be able to replace the lost revenue from because of the decline in the demand, how we can earn this revenue again from other sources. All right, so you should be focusing on shifting the readers to the electronic format. How you can provide the shifting discount, initial discount, buy one get one free offers, or you can what you can do that, for example, if you have sold one edition in the printed form, don't publish the next edition in the printed form and say that it is only available onto the digital platform and it is free of cost. So the reader is going to read it, and once the reader will come onto your platform, believe me that now you have a chance to retain them and keep them stay at your digital platform and make them purchase the access of the digital platform for the future purchases. All right, then we have you can also promote the CSR element of the digital copies or the digital platform, that if you are not printing the magazine, you are saving the trees, you are saving the paper, and also you are not using the chemicals which are used for making the inks and the lamination of the paper and these kind of things, right? So this is how you can attract the customer to the digital platform, and you can replace the lost revenue from this increase in the revenue of the digital copies of the magazines. Then we have many magazines cover the subject for which a lot of material is available online for free. Publishers therefore have to produce material of sufficient quality and interest for which the readers will be prepared to pay. For example, if you are writing a magazine on any subject and a lot of content is already available on the internet free of cost, then who is going to purchase your magazine? No one. So for that you have to make sure that the quality of the magazine, quality of the content and type of content you are producing, it is not available at any other platform, so that the readers are now ready to pay you for it. And for that, what you need to do, you have to hire the expert authors and you have to do their training and development as well. And again, as I said, that you need to onboard the international authors. And then publishers are also faces the threats to advertising income. So now the advertising income is also the threat. Why? Because of the decline in the demand of print based magazines. No sir, why? But because people are now shifting to the digital copies, so we can advertise over there. No, the issue is that on the internet, on the electronic platform, the advertisers, the other business, they have other options as well who are more attractive to them. They think that on the other platforms we can advertise our product more efficiently as compared to if we advertise them into the magazine, the digital magazine. So now you have the substitutes, and since you have the substitute, the bargaining power of your customer, the other businesses, it is going to increase, right? So now see how we are connecting all the dots of the syllabus to this precinct. All right, so the partly these arise out of the advertisers being unwilling to pay for the advertising in print based magazine with declining demand, whilst publishers receive income from the advertising on their digital channels. There may be other digital channels not connected with magazine publishing which are more appealing to the advertisers, right? So the one thing is that the demand is decreasing for the print based magazine. So because the demand is decreasing, it means that now the advertisers will know this thing, that if the people are not purchasing the magazine in the printed form, then why the hell we are putting our advertisement into it? No, we are not going to advertise our product and services into it. Okay, then sir, please advertise your product on our website or on our platform. No, I have better platform to market my product and services. So this is one of the challenge, right? Then what I have written here, that enhance the magazine marketability on digital platform using the technology and e-marketing. So what you can do, that you can enhance the marketability of your magazine platform, the online digital publication platform, so that if it has a good number of visitors, good number of subscriber, good number of readers, and there is a lot of traffic of people on your website, then these advertisers will come to you and say that please sir, advertise our product and services on your platform. So that is how you can come up with you can deal with this challenge. The magazine industry is in the state of continuous consolidation with takeovers or buyout of the publishers or right to publish particular magazine occurring regularly. So there are mergers and acquisition going on, and there are two kinds of merger and acquisition: either to acquire the whole company or to acquire the right to publish the magazine on the specific subject matter. Now that means that there is also the existence of the patent here in this industry as well. For example, if I say that only I have the right in the industry, I have the right to write the magazine on the Marvel movies. All right. So, for example, if let's say my competitor has this right, and he is earning a lot of the competitor is earning a lot of revenue from it. So now I'm not going to acquire the whole business. I'm going to just acquire that patent or that right to publish the magazine on the Marvel movies. All right. So this you can do, and you should have a very good understanding of the merger and acquisition, the benefits of the merger and acquisition, and also the scenario in which the possible takeover to be discussed, that what are going to be the challenges in the takeover, how it is going to help us grow our business, how it is going to help us grow our brand or maybe in our geographical reach. All right. So these kind of scenarios could be tested. Now we have the risk. All right. So the risk, these are very simple risk: production of poor content, loss of reputation. The impacts would be the loss of reputation, loss of reader, loss of sales and advertising revenue. And believe me, we have discussed all these kind of impacts, the possible impacts, and we have done a very good practice of these impacts in our drafting session. So you might be feeling that, okay sir, these are very simple, that if you are writing the poor content, your reputation will go down, your readers will go away, and your sales will go down. And it's very simple, right? Because we have practiced already. Then we have the legal. So legal fees and damages arising from publishing inaccurate and harmful content about the individual. That means the defamation. So you might be executed or prosecuted for the defamation suit. All right, and you will have to face the legal fines and penalties. So legal fines and penalties arising from using the content which others have written and not acknowledging who wrote the content originally. So if you are copying the content of others and you are not mentioning that we have copied it from somewhere else, that means the copyright issues. All right. So again, you will be penalized for it. Someone might sue you for it. And then breaching the laws of the Darland or regulation made by the NMSA. So if you will breach those regulations, then again you have to pay the fines and penalties. Sir, these are very simple. Yes, because we have practiced. Cyber security, interruption to the operation, data theft, corruption, deletion of the data. These could be the possible scenarios, right? And in that scenario, what will happen? Your operation will be interrupted. You will see the interruption in your day-to-day business. All right. And also loss of data or maybe unauthorized access to the data, leading to the fines and loss of trust by the reader. Sir, we know this thing. Yes, because we have seen these things again and again. So let us go through it quickly. Search engines and social media. Change in algorithm resulting in publishers' material being given lower search engine ranking. For example, if someone is searching for your product or maybe searching for the magazines on the film industry or maybe the recent film which is going to be released, and you have also issued the magazine on it, but if there is a change in algorithm on the website or your platform, that your magazine is coming at like 10th or 15th or maybe 12th or 20th place in the search engine. So people are not able to see it, and if the people are not seeing it, they are not reading it and they are not purchasing it, right? So this kind of issue can happen. Social media no longer making content available, or maybe social media stop making the content of the magazine available on their platform. Poor economic condition, if the people are poor, they will not be investing into the leisure activities of magazine reading. Problem with paper supplier, inability to print magazine on time due to paper shortages. Impact on cash flows for significant increase in the paper cost. Again, if the paper cost will increase, you will find cash flows issues to pay for the cost. And also, if you are not getting the paper on time, you will not be able to publish the magazine on time. Problems with platform supplier, inability to offer material on digital publishing platform. Again, if you are not able to put images, videos link or any additional content link on your website, within your market, within your magazine, again this is going to help, this is going to have a very negative impact on you. Loss of key person, inability to deliver the strategy. Whatever your strategy is, if you do not have the adequate staff or resources, you would not be able to execute it. Adverse impact on content quality, authors mainly, if you are not having the good quality of authors, they will not be writing the good content of the magazine. Foreign currency risk, again there is going to be loss on settlement of foreign currency transaction or long-term losses due to the adverse movement in the dollar exchange rate. So if your foreign currency exchange rate are going to be going to move adversely, it will have a impact on you, adverse impact on you in both long and short run. Climate change, adverse impact on publishers, suppliers and readers resulting from extreme weather event. So if they are going to be the extreme weather event and the people are going to become more concerned about the environment, then they are going to consider the environmental aspect of this industry as well. And if the industry is having the adverse impact on the environment, then there are going to be the impact on publishers, suppliers and also the readers. Loss of reputation if the publisher seen to be taking sufficient action to combat the climate change. All right, then we have the KPIs, and it's a list of KPIs. We have the key performance indicators, revenue and revenue growth. Again, a split of revenue between magazine and advertising revenue. That means the ratio of the revenue which is coming from the sale of magazine or maybe the subscription of the magazine, or the advertisement revenue, you know, the you get from the other businesses to advertise their product and services into the magazine. And then we have the split of publication revenue between the income from print based magazine and the digital material. So again, this is one of the ratio. And what do you think, if the print based magazine revenue is higher than the digital platform, is it a good thing or bad thing? So obviously it's a bad thing, because now the demand is decreasing. So even if the ratio is higher, it means that one day it will go down. So what good thing for you is that you should be focusing more to increase your digital material revenue more and more. Then we have operating profit, free cash flows, earning per share, number of subscriber, print based and digital both combined, number of visitors to magazine website, staff turnover, environmental aspect, energy consumption and the amount of wastage. Now I have a very big list of KPIs. You know, generally in pre-scene we don't get these. So now I'm expecting there is a high chances that you might get the question in which you have to do the performance analysis. And in doing the performance analysis, these are going to be your basis. These are going to be the basis, the factors on which you are going to analyze the performance. And you'll see that if they are increasing, if they are decreasing, and if they're increasing, it's a good thing or bad thing. If they are decreasing, it's a good thing or bad thing, and you have to comment accordingly. And you might be required to give the suggestion that how to increase it or how to decrease it and how to make it better, how to improve it, in short. All right, so you should do the practice of these kind of questions as well, because I think that it is going to come. So here we are done with our industry related analysis. So I'm keeping this video limited to the industry analysis, and the later part or the company related information and its analysis will do it into the part B of the pre-scene analysis. So I hope that this whole analysis gave you a lot of information, a lot of insight, and cleared all, you know, many doubts which were coming into your mind. So take care of yourself, and we'll meet again in the next video where I'm going to analyze the company related specific information. So bye bye, take care.